Okay, welcome back. And now we're going to discuss Invincible Season 4, Episode 5. Am I still your pet? Okay. So who wants to kick it off?
Debbie's the goat.
If you don't mind. Wait,
Hmm?
do you mind if I just do it?
Go on in.
Okay. I will just say this is the episode that was promised to me 2000 years ago. This is why I watched this show. Cause how can I say? Again, I say this every single time we do the podcast. The Invincible world is great. Okay, we have a lot of good characters, a lot of like exploration in the world, but like it's time we address the elephant in the room. Okay, because the real overarching plot is what's going on in space to build Termites. So to kick off, after it takes place pretty much right after Alan and Omni Man come back from going around getting who they need, and then they come to a conclusion, or at least Omni Man comes to a conclusion where we need to bring Mark because we're not going to be able to do this without him, which the coalition have been trying to convince them for a time now. Um, yeah, and then from here he comes back to Earth. There are a lot of things going on in Mark's life, Eve and whatnot, and then they have the inevitable talk because the last time saw Nolan was when Nolan was being carted off to probably being to getting executed. Um, is there anyone? I think this is. What do you guys think of? Well, the lead up or up until now, that whole scene.
Which scene? Or you mean
So when
your
Mark
recap?
is actually talking to Nolan after he comes back to Earth with Alan.
Yeah, I mean that was real. Like what did Nolan expect? You understand? I
Yeah,
thought Mark handled it very maturely. To be honest with you,
He handled it a lot different to how he handled their first reunion.
mm.
Because the first reunion he was a rage of emotions, but this he was just even. Like he was angry with Nolan when he met him on the Fraxon, and then he hugged him, and then he thing. But this, he's just like, "What do you want?"
Well,
Last time
he
kind
I
of
thought
saw
like
he was
you, I thought you was going to be dead.
yeah. So it's more like where have you been? If you're not dead and X amount of time has passed, what have you been doing since I thought you were dead and today? It's like a
kind
So
deadbeat
of
dad coming back.
yeah, I
yeah.
wonder
That
how much time. I wonder how much time has taken place since he last saw him.
Mm.
Because I
imagine it's
want to
been at
say
least 2 or 3 months.
no, it's more than that, man. Look how old Oliver is.
Yeah,
Oliver
but
grows
he ages
fast.
faster though.
He does grow fast, but like
You can't use Oliver
The metric.
as a
as a
yeah,
measuring stick.
because you don't know if his age increases. Like last week when I was saying to you, we don't know how long he's gonna live for. You just don't know. They've not explained anything. All we know is he ages different to us, faster. What does faster mean? He reaches adulthood in 2 years, and then he's an adult for 100 years. Or does he reach adulthood in 2 years and then he dies 6 months later? We don't know.
We don't. Yeah, because
What
it
we do
wasn't. But
what we do
that
need to
the
find
last
out,
time he saw Nolan was season 2, right?
yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
But before we move on, while we're speaking about Oliver, the real elephant in the room is he bleaching?
Is he
The
what?
skin.
Bleaching?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Or you think he
you
looks
haven't
lighter?
noticed he's not as purple.
he's looking light.
Yeah,
Mm.
I
Is he
mean,
wear is he
is
wearing
that
makeup? Is he bleaching? Has he got vitiligo?
She
is
did
that
give
a
him
side
makeup.
effect of even of growing up? Well, half though as well could be.
Yeah,
So
that's what
aren't
I'm
all the
saying.
flaxens like green?
He he was wearing makeup at one point.
Yeah,
I feel like when they went to Mark's graduation or whatever, he was wearing makeup.
Mm.
But
But right
I
now, it
think
doesn't
when
look
he
like
was,
he is.
I think when he was hanging out with them kids he was skateboarding with, I think he was just normal purple, wasn't he?
Yeah, and it was a darker shade.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Maybe like as he's getting older, he's just becoming more closer to like Earth, human or what they are. But also, I don't
Now,
know.
was it you? Was it me? Right? Or did Nolan? In terms of this question, like what was Nolan thinking? We can ask that about so many different things because it's like when he rocked up to say, Mark, we need you to join. Is it like we need you to join and don't worry about what's happened to me or anything that I've done. We just need to do this mission and Mark just be on board for this, which then asks the question, what are you thinking? Because how do you just jump to that point after everything else that's happened?
That's easier than having a rule you should give me conversation, because because we need you to stop these people, to protect the people that you love, is a mission.
Mm,
The how do you feel about me and can you forgive me and have me back in your life is not a mission. It's a lifestyle choice. It's a
mm.
bad. It's I'm wording it badly, but the point I'm trying to get across is it's personal. A mission is a mission. You can do it and then you can cut ties. But actually having a conversation requires you to care. When
I
people
think
break up and they don't like each other anymore and they stop speaking, oftentimes it's because they don't care. It's just you're surplus
to
to
move on.
requirements now. You know what I mean? You're
Yeah,
you're irrelevant.
but Omni Man wants to care though, right?
Well, here's the thing, right?
Omni Man's
Back
dealing
in
with emotions he never had. This is all new to him.
what they did a similar thing in season 2 because when he drew him out to the Boat People's planet, right? He did
Mm.
it under the pretense of I need you to help me do this because I need something new. So it just comes back to Nolan.
Well, no, because
He's
he
not.
tricked.
He's like manipulate. He's setting up situations to manipulate someone into this. It's just again, it's convenient in a way that okay, well, look, you have a choice, which isn't really a choice. You either come with me to help fight these people who are eventually going to come here, or you can watch as your people die and you along with them. Because Mark can't really say no, can he? Either way,
Maybe,
it's the same way
maybe it's
how
just one of them parents thing where the parent just can't bring themselves to apologize to the child.
He
he
said sorry.
he said sorry, but it just feels more like
And
Nolan
he
is
meant
just
it.
doing things in a way where he just gets what he wants. Like a lot of the episode as well, when he's having these interactions,
The first
which
time,
really do come back to the fact that you are mainly just here for yourself, or just
the,
because in one way or another.
I disagree. The first time when he went back,
Yeah,
yes. This time it's literally, if you don't fight, you will be eradicated.
yeah,
So you either fight over there and you minimize the possibility of damage on your in your home, and you fight alongside me and you have a choice, or I go ahead and there wasn't enough and I die and they come and wipe you out for free.
yeah. He said with the last time when he brought him over to the planet, that he only reason Mark had to stay and that time is because he couldn't get a ship. His ship was broke up or something, and he had to wait until um it would have been in working condition. But Nolan, knowing this, also tried to use the time to train up Mark or to get him to be more like him because he knew exactly what was coming and he
He
knew he
needed,
couldn't fight him
yeah,
alone.
he needed
So
to
it's
train Mark.
another. It is kind of a way again. So it does kind of come back to the fact that like yes, Nolan cares or he's struggling with caring, but at the same time, like he's mainly just doing it or spinning it in a way that most majority just benefits him. It just so happens that like it's lined up to where, okay, well, they all get something else. I'm not saying like what's the word? He's doing it maliciously or anything, but at the same time, this is what they got to deal with, and there's
I
no other way around it.
I think it's also partially communication style
Yeah,
because at the end of the day, if it's you need to be strong enough to you're a superhero, right? The whole time you was a child and you was watching me be a superhero, and you're saying I want to be a superhero, and then it's decided, okay, you're going to be a superhero. Yeah, forget the fact that I went rogue and I turned into a bad guy. Yeah, you chose this life, right? So these are your responsibilities. And not only are they your responsibilities, you need to be strong enough to survive and do them. Because if you go back to the previous episode, Oliver was like, I want to do this, I can do this. And what's the dragon called? I should call him by his real name.
Mr. Liao.
Mr. Liao was slapping him about. So what does that mean? It means Oliver needed to train. Do you understand? So
Yeah.
so so Omni-Man has said on several occasions, they will come and kill everything you know and love. You need to be strong enough. Who can train you? Me. You don't need to like me. Do you think Daredevil likes stick? He don't, does he? Do
Mm.
you know what I mean? But it's necessary. It's necessary. So I would treat my child the same way. You are the only people that can stop these people. You need to do it. Bitch about it later.
And it seemed interesting that he didn't want to go and see Oliver.
He wanted to leave him out of it. He don't.
Mm.
Oliver was a baby. Yeah. So he don't. How much is he likely to remember? Is
he
one
remembers.
thing.
But
Two.
he remembers Omni
He
Man.
remembers quite a bit though. That's the
Yeah.
thing.
He remember. No, he doesn't. All he remembers was he was flying around. He remembers his dad used to fly him around. Ergo, his dad's a hero. And then Mark and Debbie told him what he did on Earth, right? So Omni Man coming down with his shame is going to be like, yeah, I'm a mass murderer, and I betrayed everybody that loved me, and I left. I left the family here and had the family there and got the planet killed. And your mum, by the way, how do you have that conversation with somebody you don't know?
He well no, well the mom survived. She just died of old age, didn't she?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
I'm
because
sure she
That's
protected him. I'm sure
she's
she
the one that
protected him
said
from the bad guy.
no,
no.
but she
She told
asked
Mark. She
to
told
take
Mark
him to
to
her.
take Oliver because she said, "Look at me. I'm older than when you first met me when you got here. Like
Yeah, maybe.
he's better off with you." She didn't die in that. She didn't die or get injured in that attack. But part of me was thinking maybe Omni Man. All right. Do you remember? Have you seen Dead Presidents?
I don't remember it, but I have seen it.
Well, anyway, in Dead Presidents, Lorenz Tate is in the fighting in the Vietnam War, and his girlfriend from back home sends him a photo of the baby that she's just had. That's his baby, and
Mm.
he says, "I can't." He says to his friend, "I can't even look at the photo that she sent me." And the friend's like, "Why?" He goes, "Because look where we are. We're in a war. Once I start thinking about her and being a parent, I'm dead out here. Yeah, I can't allow myself to think about that. I've got this mission
Mm.
that I need to do." And that made me think, was Omni Man thinking along those lines? Was he like, I know I've got another son out here. I can't really do anything for him right now because we got to deal with this threat. and if I open up my mind too much to like let that in and that, it's gonna, I don't know, it's gonna distract me or something like that. But then again, he wanted to go and see Debbie, but
Well, he
that would
commented
do the
on
same, that might do the
he
same
com-
thing.
He
he
didn't want to
commented
drag
on the
Oliver
fact that
into it.
like he was too he couldn't. You're right. It's weird because he couldn't face Debbie. He couldn't face Oliver, but he could face Debbie. But he also says as well, which whether you want to believe it or not, is kind of your interpretation. He says, "I didn't want to see Oliver because I didn't want to mess him up," which is reference to what he did with Mark. But
Mm.
then, how do you? But then it's like he says stuff. I don't feel like he doesn't really think about what he's saying, or he only
What he
says what
said,
people
yeah,
want to hear.
yeah, I don't
Listen,
think because when he said he didn't love Oliver's mum, I think that's a lie.
He's only saying that
ah,
because he thinks that's what Debbie think. And when I was thinking about this before the stream, like I said, Invincible has a lot of like you know anime and stuff influences, specifically Dragon Ball Z. And in these interactions with Nolan, or particularly with Debbie, it kind of reminds me of like a mix between Goku and Vegeta. Like it's Goku in the old obliviousness and to an extent, right? But
mm.
it's also Vegeta in the way that he phrases himself. So there's that, which I thought was pretty like interesting. As well, we could touch on Debbie and that whole conversation.
I fully
I
believe, I fully believe that he didn't love the other woman. People can do that. They can do that. You see it all the time. But going back to Oliver and not wanting to mess him up, I also believe that as well. Because when he saw him on the ship, he was like, take him home. Do you understand? He shouldn't be out here fighting. Take him home. He's a baby. He still looks at him like a baby. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. I kind of took that as um uh, we got we ain't got the time or the headspace to deal with this right now. Just get him what you thinking. So
Forget that. Because in fact, not forget that. It is what you're saying, but the underlying sentiment was not I don't want to deal with the relationship. It was you're not strong enough. And not only that, you're the baby of the family. Stay home. You're not
yeah,
here.
but not being funny. How does he know what Oliver's capable of?
He doesn't. And
he sees him as a child.
fighting Viltrumites is not the time to find out. If you were going somewhere, yeah, let's say you and I was going somewhere for B, right? And we've been fighting for however long we've been fighting, and then one day I bring Mal with me. Are you gonna be like, cool, let's go? Or are you gonna tell me why did I bring it?
Yeah.
And he's a grown man. He's a grown man. This is a child that came along in this instance.
I can't remember what did Oliver say to convince Mark to take him.
He
That
told him,
he said, I couldn't
"I
help my mum
yeah,
and I lost her, and you can't stop me from helping this
I'm
mum.
trying to save this one." Yeah,
That was hard. But the only
Mm.
thing that's gonna make it very meaningful is if Oliver dies.
again, I just want to comment as well. Like, I feel like everyone overall had like probably some of the best character moments, like in the show so far. Like even Oliver, then like coming back to like the way Mark handled the conversation and how he can like he's speaking to Nolan as an adult or like a more responsible version. Like he understands what he's got to do, right? Which is the kind of character or main character that like we need right now. And I do want to touch on the Debbie and Nolan, um,
Go on.
because apparently in the comic it goes the opposite way. So as opposed to where she tells him to, go. It's a
Get lost.
so. Oh my god. As opposed to how it goes to where she tells him, "I don't forgive you. Get out my house." They actually get back together in the comic at that point,
Oh, I
which
need
is
to read the
weird.
comic then.
Yeah. So these are like almost two different. These are basically two different characters, but Debbie
She's not even
Debbie
Asian in the
Grayson stood
comic,
on
so it's
business.
different. You
Well,
know what? They
the
did her
thing is, though,
dirty with the animation.
what was he actually thinking was going to happen when he went to see her?
He figured that was the right thing to do, and I guess to an extent,
The
well,
right thing to
if you
do
even want
in
to
order.
say that, right? But at the
Mm.
same time, naturally, and if this is about being human, why would she? Why would she take you back? Like after all of that, you called her a pet.
Yeah, but come on, there are women out there that get punched up by their men and take them back the next day
Yeah, but
or
You
whatever.
need to add
that
that you
is
don't
true.
condone that.
But we
I
don't.
don't condone that. I don't condone that. But
Just
like I say,
just to
like
clarify.
people and humans and women and men and all everything, everyone just operates on their own spectrum, don't they? Like you
Like,
get people with Stockholm syndrome that end up flipping loving their kidnapper or their abuser and stuff like that. Like and women, let's be honest, love a bad guy, don't they? Like how many times you
yeah,
heard that
but
saying,
that's
Not this
good
one.
guys finish last
but
and
not
that.
like
You know what I
this
mean?
though.
Not this
But
one.
not like because he destroyed practically all of Chicago and much more. He killed the Guardians. Who were their friends. There was that one episode where when Debbie actually finds out, um, she realized, oh, I went to my friend's funeral, which was Red Rush's funeral, and that's a support thing. And then she finds, and she has to keep it together, and she's holding it in, and that's what parts eats her up inside. Um, when I can't remember exactly what she says, but it's some really good like quotes. Because, like you say, when he calls her out on, oh, um, you called Oliver's mother's a mistake, right? But like, and you realize, yeah, that was the point where she realized, you know what, it's done because he's just trying to say what he thinks she wants to hear, right? But it's like the more he just keeps talking, the worse he just makes it for himself.
There's
But
nothing he could say. Like,
yeah,
I don't know what he could, unless she really, like I say, unless she's like one of these people that will just forgive like the abuser or whatever. There's nothing really he could say to really swing it back. So he was just better off not. I think he was just better off not seeing her. But it is what it is. One thing that surprised me in this season, and I hope this doesn't make me sound sexist or whatever, but I was really surprised that Tech Jacket was a woman.
Mm, I don't know.
I just assumed
Maybe
it.
there's
I
something
just
there.
assumed Tech Jacket was a dude.
I assumed it was an android.
But I think Tech Jacket is Blue Beetle though, isn't he? Isn't she?
yeah,
I think.
she,
Yeah, either that or Guyver, but I suppose Blue Beetle's based on Guyver anyway, isn't it?
Yeah. But
I like Tech Jacket. I like her haircut as well.
yeah, she reminds me of she looked like with that haircut, she looked like Sengoku from Cyber City.
I don't remember.
She had that same kind of that it was like it was like a 90s cyberpunk kind of style, wasn't it? That kind of hairdo.
I can't remember Cyber City. Every time I think of that, I keep thinking Wicked City.
Cyber City was
I'll have to
good.
watch. I'll have to watch it again.
Right, so I've
I
got a
started watching
theory.
Evangelion.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I'm loving it.
I've got a theory, and this isn't, I haven't read anything or I haven't seen any memes or anything online, but I have a theory that, Optimus Prime keeps saying that there's a mole or there's a betrayer and that.
yeah.
I kind of suspect Alan's girlfriend.
Yeah, it's
Keep
either that
thinking that as well.
or Picard. but I don't
Nah,
think Picard
well,
knows enough.
this
Maybe,
stuff was happening before Picard came on the scene.
yeah, but moles don't have to be main characters or people that you see all the time. You understand? They can introduce them later. But yeah,
Mm.
it could be her, but I don't know. I think that's
Seems
low
too
hanging fruit.
obvious though,
Yeah, it's low hanging fruit.
because I was suspecting her from like when she first showed up. When Alan first died, well, quote unquote, got put in the thing. I thought it was her from then,
Mm.
and it could still be, but it's too.
It'd be anticlimactic if it is her.
Yeah, but so like this stuff with the ship, because what actually happened to the ship that made half of it
Viltrumites.
blow up?
I think they said the engine was like
Ah, it was
compromised or
something. It was
something.
some malfunction or something to do with
Yeah,
the ship.
something was compromised or damaged, and then it
Yeah,
just caused it to
it
blow
was
up.
It was Viltrumites.
It wasn't
It was. It was
because
Viltrumites.
they
Because
didn't. Yeah, but they
when it
didn't know
blew
they
up,
was there until
yeah, exactly. You don't know what the cause is, but once when they undocked, separated, and they turned around, and the Viltrumites were grinning, it was them. You don't think they were watching the ship malfunction and they thought, oh, let's wait however long it would take for the ship to be damaged beyond repair by itself. You get there and you shoot it. It might
they
have been
were
a
there
like,
as
What,
if they
or
were
what
waiting
did
for
they?
them. Though
What?
that's the
So
thing.
what did they, by happenstance, just happen to come across their ship?
No, the mole would have told them. But
well,
that's
either or
what it
doesn't matter.
alluded to.
Either or doesn't matter. What the point is the Viltrumites destroyed the ship. They might have come across it. It might have been the mole, but the Viltrumites destroyed the ship. That's the point we're debating.
Okay, so once the ship's destroyed, we see Oliver just like glided in space. So was the explosion from that ship and the damage on him, was that part of the reason why we didn't see him fight at full power, or was he just totally outclassed?
He's outclassed. But I tell you what, those punches he was giving Conquest, that's giving ratings for that. You could see that he has leveled up,
He
but
was doing some damage
he's
or
not ready
something.
for prime time.
Meme.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And
he's not ready to fight a fully grown Viltrumite, but he can
Yeah, but going up
like
against Conquest is like going from 0 to 100.
yeah, and on that point with the leave the boy at home, Omni Man spent most of his time looking after Oliver out there. That's not somebody that doesn't care, is it?
Hmm.
He even told him. He said, "Are you okay?"
I
Yeah,
don't think anyone said that he didn't care about Oliver. It was just like a bit strange that he didn't go to see him.
his whole time on Flaxen, right, was supposed to be in his head how he's rationalizing making up for what he did for Earth, except without going to Earth. Because that's another reason why he did it, or he learned he was living with them. I feel like. Sure.
maybe, but Oliver didn't belong, and at the first fight, he showed he didn't belong. There was what, three of them?
Hmm.
Three of them. How you gonna fight 50? He shouldn't have come.
Yeah,
He put Nolan at risk,
Who?
and he put Mark
yeah,
at
but
risk.
none of them had an easy time of it.
Yeah, because it's like
None of
if
them had an
you
easy time
took
of it.
if you
No, they
took him
didn't.
out the fight, they're still kind of down. I think they would have been probably worse off.
Tech Jacket took
No,
some
no, no.
damage.
Because you can focus.
What do you mean? Well, they had okay. Who they have? Tech Jacket and Alan were fighting that one guy, right? The fat one, or the biggest one, yeah. But even then, Tech Jacket couldn't even hurt him. He was more of an annoyance, and Alan kind of was doing something, but not really enough to where they were doing any major or significant damage. Like, it didn't make him bleed or anything, right? So
Right.
now, if he deals with them, because I feel like he almost killed Tech Jacket. or he would have almost killed Jake Jacket if left alone for longer. It's now these lot can now focus and coordinate better to go fight against the rest of them. And I don't think
Their
they don't have
attention.
and they don't have their weapons yet.
Who don't?
Our
The good
guys,
guys.
they don't have their weapons yet. Like they spent that episode going around collecting everything they needed to go up against the Viltrumites, but they don't have them ready yet, do they?
Right. And also, to Miles' point, attention wouldn't have been divided if Oliver wasn't there. There was two people, your two big hitters, aren't focusing on the foe in front of them. They're fighting, and half their mind, and as far as I know, they don't have 360 perception. Yeah, so their eyes are scanning for what Oliver's doing instead of 100% focused on the opponent. Oliver was more of a hindrance and help.
the fact that Conquest specifically, and I think whatever the other guy was, or mainly Conquest, was so fixated on Oliver was also kind of how they were able to sneak him a couple of times. Because he really wanted him dead just so they could make Invincible
but that's
suffer.
because he's a bully.
Mm.
He's gonna
Exactly.
pick on the easy target. But do you know what though? This goes to show, yeah, how fucked up Cecil's gonna be when Mark gets back to Earth, if Mark gets back to Earth. Because he's like, how are you still here? Like what? Like Mark. The thing is, Mark actually thought Conquest was gone.
He saw the body.
Yeah.
So he saw
he
him.
Told him get rid of him. He told him.
Yeah.
He knew he was dead. Get rid
so
of him.
Him seeing him, him just seeing him there on the battle, even if, hold on, where am I trying to go with this? Even if Cecil had told him, look, I'm keeping this guy alive, or I'm gathering up the remains and we'll see what kind of intel I can get out of him. At least Mark would be aware that there is something out that Conquest could possibly still be. Do you know what I mean?
He could have even told him when he left,
though, because he knows what type of character he is. Like him,
or Cecil knows that he's leaving to go into space, and Cecil already knows that Conquest has escaped and gone into space. He could have told him then, so at least you know what I mean. He's you know what I mean. He doesn't catch him by surprise. So boy, that's fucked up.
I feel like it would have been a better move to turn Conquest into a Reaniman man than just keep him on life support.
I think that might have been the intention, and they didn't get round to it.
But he had him alive. He can't turn him into. He has to be dead. That's the whole point.
Yeah, but surely when his body is regenerating himself and he's not yet conscious, surely the GDA are seeing this saying, oh, actually, last week his face looked like mashed potato. This week he looks more like putty. Something's happening here.
Well, that's the thing. It's like Cecil's reasoning for even having him in the first place is because he thought I can interrogate him and get information. But if Mark is the strongest thing on the planet and you can barely, if not contain that, and you saw what he did, what did you expect? Like, was he just going to tell them about the Viltrumite Empire? Like, come on now. But it also comes back to a thing from the previous episode to where it's like, okay, fine, contingencies. You're thinking about the worst case scenario if this person or if Mark like switches up on you, yeah? But at the same time, how many times has the man got to prove to himself? And three, and another thing, why are you giving him more reasons to crash out? It's pretty much like whatever happens to Cecil at this point is kind of on him.
On himself.
Yeah, it's on him, isn't it? Yeah, you're right, man.
He asked for it at this point.
Facts, man. Speak them facts.
Speaking about whatever happens to you on yourself, when Conquest upset Mark, and Mark was like, "You're never gonna breathe again," I felt that in my soul. I was like, "Yes, yeah."
You know what's funny about that? I've got so many ways I could go in direction.
I was like, "Yes."
It seemed to do you know one thing, right? Yeah, one thing that dawned on me after I watched the episode was like, if this guy can hold his breath from flying from Earth to wherever the hell Viltrum is. How is Mark choking him during this fight? Actually,
But maybe
He flew all the way from Earth to Viltrum. He probably went to like an outpost or something, and
yeah.
then they flew back from there. That makes more sense
But not
because
only
Omni
that,
Man and them lot can't fly across. They can't fly across the entire galaxy, right? I'm
not that
assuming.
I know. Yeah, I don't
well,
know.
I
I
don't
don't know
know
that.
because he was floating. Well, we don't know how far he got, but he was floating in space before he met Oliver's mum.
I mean, yeah, but like assuming it, like I said, they can't travel. They're not like Superman in terms of Superman can fly the entire distance of the universe. They have ships for a reason. Like, yes,
Mm,
they have the Empire and stuff, but I don't think they can go like from one side of the galaxy to another. And Viltrum is probably so far away to where they still need ships. Like Omni Man and them lot still needed the ship to go into light speed to cross the
mm.
distance for a 2 week trip, right?
Okay.
And not to be that guy, there's a difference between I forget what it's called, like an oxygen choke and a blood choke. So it was probably a blood choke that did it.
But you know what was interesting though? While he's choking him, there was not, from what I can remember, there wasn't one bit of terror of I'm gonna die on Conquest. It looked like he
That
was still, even
yeah,
though
he
they're
was
fighting, it
committed.
still looked like he was still enjoying it.
Yeah, because he
To
thought he
me.
was gonna win, innit?
Yeah, it
Last time
wasn't
he
until he realized, oh shit, he might actually kill me. Um,
last time he saw Mark, it was a 2v1. And this time, and Mark wasn't trying to kill him. Whereas this time, Mark was bloodlusted and he was just like, all right, I need to lock in. So he was locked in. He weren't laughing and smiling. He was locked in. And then when it was time to do the spear hand, he knew that his time was running out.
and even
One
then,
thing I will say, Phil, you called it though, because on that not last podcast, the one before, you said I don't know if Conquest beats Mark again.
Yeah, that's what I said. Mark was on smoke. Mark was on. I thought Mark would have fought more. I didn't realize Mark was like, I'm just gonna end this guy's life.
yeah, that's
I
well,
thought I thought it was gonna be a fight. I didn't realize it was an execution.
nah. But remember, he when he broke all his limbs, he literally bit his face in with his own
Yeah,
skull.
yeah, that was it. That was it. But I still don't think that was to kill him. I think that was just to like put him down. Whereas this time,
When he was headbutting him.
yeah.
Nah,
Whereas
that was the kill. That
nah,
had to be the kill. There was no just put it. He just what he pretty much put his hand through Eve, basically caved in her face, like knocked off like most of her face. Right after that point, like yeah, you gotta go.
I'm
Like
on the fence.
'cause
I'm on the fence with that. Whereas this time it was premeditated. When he saw that he was trying to take out Oliver, he was like, enough's enough. And we're not on Earth. So I think there was that to do with it as well. We're not on Earth. We're not dealing with Earth's authorities and morality. And I see you coming around killing people for jokes. So yeah, you gotta go.
plus, and like you said, okay, he's high on like adrenaline and stuff too, because a lot of Mark's, if not all of his wins, come from when he's like super invested or super like hyped up,
Mm,
and that's just how he like pulls it. That's how he pulls it out of the bag.
mm.
Because I get a little bit, I say confused, because
Like he runs on
when
testosterone, doesn't he? And adrenaline.
yeah, or something, yeah,
I didn't mean test. I
like
meant adrenaline. He runs on adrenaline. Like
yeah,
when
adrenaline.
when the odds are like really stacked against him, that's when he gets like his passive hacks.
It's like
He has gotten so much stronger though, man.
Well, he
So
needs to.
he
I must have watched a clip about him versus, which I completely forgot about this fight. Him versus Anissa, and
She was rocking him.
he was no match for her at all.
Mm. I heard
And
it even gets worse in the comic.
you can't tell me Conquest doesn't wash Anissa if they had a fight.
Mm.
That's what I said in the last one. Like, I feel
Mm.
like Anissa is stronger. No, Conquest is stronger than Anissa, which kind of also brings up something else, but I'm not going to comment on that. But they might do it a little bit differently. But now, I feel like Mark can probably take Anissa. But the thing is, when he gets injured, because I think this whole thing is just like Alan, when you know how when you break bones or like tear muscle, it grows back stronger.
Mm.
Like that's the thing with Viltrumite, like physiology or DNA.
Is that
When
canon?
he grows stronger, it's kind of like you don't know how far he's gonna go. So sometimes I find it might be a little, I don't say inconsistent, but like you never know until you
What
actually see it.
is that canon, or are we making that assumption?
That's
That
more like, I think it's canon.
okay.
The only thing,
Well, Mark must be well powerful then, because in the beginning he was getting punched up every fight.
yeah, that's
Every
why
fight, yeah.
when he loses, right, and he comes back, he always comes back stronger. Like the training also helps, but also like his Viltrumite DNA as it like gets older or develops, he's getting stronger. That's why when Omni Man came to Earth, he was like, well, we're compatible, but your DNA is almost exactly identical to thing, and that's to a pure blooded Viltrumite, if anything.
Mm.
Mm.
Which again, another like Dragon Ball like reference because the half Saiyans have more
Are
potential
stronger, yeah.
than the full blooded ones.
Do you know? I
You know,
think that sort of thing is canon to all anime. That anything that mixes with a human will be more powerful than the pure blood.
Which
you're
is
drawing
another
a
trope.
lot. You're drawing
Mm?
a lot of comparisons between the Viltrumites and the Saiyans,
Mm.
but there's parts of me that feel like they have a lot in common with the Uchiha as well.
Who?
They're like a clan in Naruto,
Oh, okay.
the
I didn't
Uchiha
watch
clan,
Naruto.
and I feel like they got a lot in common with them as well. Yeah, I don't know. I have to have a think about that a little bit more. But Oliver, Oliver was clearly in over his head,
Mm.
obviously,
Yeah.
He's got
and
heart. I'll give him that. He's got heart.
yeah, he does. I don't know if his confidence is going to be a bit shook now. But this might be
Listen,
one of those things where I know we were saying like, why'd you bring him? But also, this might be one of those things where the battles that they have in space, like they said in Dragon Ball Z, was the one is like one of the most important chapters in their file in terms of them getting to the next level, and maybe him being in space does help him level up
Make him
quicker.
stronger. Yeah. Because as well,
what is he, Child Gohan or something?
here's the thing.
Oh, why not?
Viltrumites, as they get older, they get stronger, or they get more developed, mature, and he's definitely stronger than when they first fought Conquest. But he
You have to
ages
remember,
fast.
yeah. You have to remember, yeah. Steel sharpens steel. Yes, Oliver could stay on Earth and probably best most of the threats that the Earth has got. Yeah, but he's not gonna get to that next level unless he's fighting
People
enemies that
up
are
above his like weight count.
Who's
But
push
protecting Earth now?
out his potential.
the
Well,
Guardians,
whoever's left of the Guardians, Cecil, well,
So
I guess
nothing then. So they're
he's
screwed.
out of the picture.
So they're screwed.
Business baby, still around.
Earth is screwed, man. Because
Yeah,
anytime
but
there's a problem, Mark has to be there. Mark is off planet.
they've dealt with threats without Mark, haven't they?
Who?
they dealt with Earth-sized threats. They haven't
Not
dealt
in
with like
not in 20 years, they ain't.
Doc Seismic.
Yeah, but he almost got them. But still, they can deal with based threats. They can't deal with anything outside of that sphere.
Do
Right,
you
but
feel
Um,
like they've
people
been
out of their
holding?
sphere comes regularly.
Do you feel like they've been holding back Bulletproof?
Nah,
Because I was
I
thinking, like,
think
I
he's
was
cool.
expecting against the Flaxons, I was expecting him to do a lot more than he was doing.
Yeah, so was I, but maybe. But that's the thing. Maybe they're not holding him back, and he's just not strong enough. I mean, I've got the low hanging fruit reason to why he's not that strong, but
Shit.
you know what I mean. You
Mm,
can't have man's overshadowing.
the main dude.
Yeah, I mean, look at Darkwing. Like he's nice. Where's he
I think he's dead.
Mm.
Well, I hope
again?
not.
What both
I
of
hope
them?
not, but I think he's
No,
dead.
he's not. Isn't he working for the GDA?
So that's what I'm saying.
No, he got dragged. He dragged that one Invincible into the dark dimension. And that was it. That's the last time we saw him.
Oh
Oh well.
yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Oh well.
Um, so
Bulletproof is our last
Alan,
hope.
so Alan and Tech
Nobody, no
Jacket.
death.
Oh,
So again,
Alan and what?
I said nobody, no death.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it's true.
Bulletproof is our last hope.
So we got Alan and Tech Jacket stowed away on the Viltrumite ship. What happened to Alan's girlfriend? Oh yeah,
She
Optimus
went
They
Prime
go
home.
got
away.
her back.
She went
Huh?
home.
Yeah, she went home. Um,
I tell you
so
what
they're
though,
on there.
that mole, that mole side story is actually dragging and getting on my nerve. Like every time that dude is on screen, that's all he's talking about.
Mm,
There's a mole. Okay, look for
Yeah.
him. Like we don't need those 30 seconds of animation. We need Debbie to be animated properly because her animation was rough in places.
yeah.
And
So just as I started to like think they upped the animation quality, 'cause when Oliver was getting lashed through that building by that dragon, and
mm,
that I was thinking to myself, "Raw, they've actually done the thing." And then we just see some stuff with that altercation between Debbie and Omni Man. I'm just like, "Oh well, we're back to the budget animation."
do you know what and Mark versus Conquest? I thought Mark looked a bit like he was drawn by somebody other than who drew the rest of the episode as well. But where they redeemed themselves was when Oliver started to breathe, and then Conquest just appeared behind him. I was like,
Yeah,
yeah, that's clean. That was clean. And
yeah,
then I just finished thinking that was clean, and Mark came through, and I'm like,
yeah.
because when it happens, I was like, raw, how fast can Conquest fly? And then immediately it's like, how fast can Mark fly?
Disappeared.
Because Mark
Yeah, and
appeared
that's
from
another thing as
nowhere.
well. It's like fly because Oliver flying into that planet. I'm imagining he could get lost in that atmosphere. Like you wouldn't know where he is because once you get down there, you're on a planet. Yeah.
Mm.
But they were able to just lock onto each other.
Well, they must
Which
have been flying in a straight line.
Well,
must have been.
Conquest, he used Mark as a springboard as well to
Yeah,
push himself towards him.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So it was like Oliver got there, took a breath, and then Conquest was there, and I was like, "Wow, how far can Conquest fly?" And then Mark was there.
Mm.
Like I'd literally not finished that thought, and Mark was there. So I was just like, "Raw, how fast can Mark fly?" Mark is that guy.
Because
He's that.
again, like it just kind of just shows you how real the situation is because Oliver didn't even know what was happening until it passed by. Like
Yeah,
he was about to
yeah.
get split
Mm.
in half and he would have
Because
died before he realized it.
he literally said, "What was that?"
Yeah. Mad. Mad.
But another cool moment during that fight is like when they are struggling and he's like, "Oh, you don't get to breathe anymore. And Conquest is he realizes, okay, I gotta get him off me, and he's dragging him around the area, and you
Yeah,
can see like how it's just ripping up the terrain. I thought that was a nice sequence.
and he
A
started
shot.
getting desperate.
I like the
He,
fact he bit off the man's thumb and spat it out.
isn't that the second time he bit Conquest?
I can't remember.
Didn't he bite him in the first fight?
But this fight, like, well,
They could have
as it
animated it
stands,
better.
as it stands, Alan's girlfriend's gone home.
Mhm.
Alan and Tech Jacket are stored away on the Vulture ship, and just so that just means Nolan and his sons are on this planet, and one of the sons has got his guts hanging out.
Mhm.
That's pretty much how the episode ended, right?
Mhm.
I wonder
That's
how
fine.
much heat time Mark needs to heal from that if he heals.
Man. Well, it
The
depends
thing
how
is,
they're gonna get off the planet, innit? Because
forget
remember,
that. He needs to heal. We'll
He
worry
needs to
about that
heal.
remember,
afterwards.
but he's still gonna need like medical assistance inside. Because
Yeah,
remember
but
when
didn't it
Omni
strike
Man
you as an
split open,
uninhabited planet? Because it struck me as a planet where people don't live.
there was no population there. But well, we're gonna
What?
have to
It could
find
have
out
been.
next week.
It could have been a field. There's people in London that have gardens bigger than the area we were looking at. You can't
But
infer
he
that
looked like
was
he was out in
unpopulated
like
from
the
there.
middle of nowhere, though.
Look at America, the ranches. They could walk 100 meters and they'd be a city.
I don't
100
know if
meters
he's
is
gonna
probably an
make 100
exaggeration.
meters.
He's gonna
Is
make it, man. The show's named after him. He's
well, yeah,
making it.
it's named after him, but like his like he was, when you see a fly die or like an insect, like his hands and stuff were like crippled, like bent inwards. He
If he was
after the
gonna die,
adrenaline rush, huh?
if he was gonna die, he would have died because
Yeah, yeah,
he
yeah.
was he was he was already suffering by the time they got to him. So
Like,
he's gonna make it.
but you can imagine though, like the shock because he's after the adrenaline high goes off,
Mm, mm,
like the shock his body just goes straight into.
mm.
Um,
If
Yeah.
well,
If Omni Man says walk it off, if Omni Man says walk it off, that's how you know that the only thing that stops Viltrumites living forever is murder.
Hmm.
But
But
yeah, they
so
shove his guts back in, and then off he goes. But I'll tell you what, I'm gonna make another prediction. The next Viltrumite that Mark sees is gonna get it. It's gonna start. It's gonna start being personal at this point. You know,
for
like
some reason, I thought the black dude was dead. Because the last time we saw him, he had
yeah,
his guts hanging out.
he
yeah. He looked like
wasn't
he got
dead
beat
though.
up.
That's what I was saying. Like he got split open, but he wasn't. We thought he was dead, but then
Yeah,
he
but
came
when
back
he
and he
called,
broke Nolan's back.
but after he broke Noda's back and he called for them to come and evac, he dropped
Yeah,
down. I thought he was dead.
no, because they will. You
No,
can see him. They wheel him back onto the ship. They got him
I
on
thought
like
that
a
was,
stretcher.
to be honest with you, I forgot that is the same person. I thought that was somebody else.
nah, it's the same dude. Called him Luke. His name's Lucan, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm.
That's the
Um,
same dude.
I will also say, so far, like every single podcast, um, feels unironically predicted something in the next episode. Like,
Well,
because we
what's your
didn't talk about art.
predictions?
So in the previous one, we were saying, "Oh, why is Omni Man dressed like this?" Actually, no, I said this, and I said to him, I said, maybe he just likes to feel the grass between his toes.
Mm.
And then in the
Oh
following
yeah.
episode, he's like, "Yeah, kind of just
I
like the
feel
feeling of
grounded.
the shit between my feet."
I feel grounded.
Yeah, well, Art. He tried to ask Art to make him a suit, didn't he?
Suit.
Art told
Yeah.
him, "Nah, man, I only make suits for heroes."
You know what though? You gotta respect him for that, man.
Yeah.
Who Art?
Like, yeah, like he
Yeah,
He
He
stand
was
by his
talking to
morals. I'm not.
yeah,
I'm not doing that.
he was talking to Nolan straight,
Yeah.
and that's how you know that Nolan is humanized because he felt sorry for himself, he felt sad, and he said, "You know what? I respect it," and he left.
Mm.
And you can tell how shook
And as
Art
well,
was afterwards.
And
yeah,
also,
he is.
it does show that Art did look at him as a friend once upon a time.
Mm,
You
Yeah,
know, and maybe, just maybe, if before Omni-Man did what he did, if he had said, "Ah, I've got a problem, this, and this and this thing," maybe he might have given him some good advice. I don't know, but I got the sense from that is not only one, the man has a code and all of that stuff, but I did get a sense that Art actually had a genuine
he wanted.
care for him, for Nolan. Like do you know what I mean? Like
mm.
Yeah,
I can't think of the words I'm trying to say, but he really respected him, or he really, you know what I mean?
But if your mission for over 900 years is to go populate, go and procreate somewhere to repopulate your species, are you really gonna seek the advice of some dude you've known for like what amounts to like 10 seconds
No.
and take it on board, or are you
Mm.
gonna do what you do what you've been doing for like 980 years, and then because the only thing that changed him was when Mark said, "I'm your son," when he was punching him up.
No,
Because
he
up
said,
until then,
"What will you have?" He said, "What will you have?" And he said, "I'll have you, Dad."
yeah, that was it. That was it.
Yeah.
And that's what really changed him because it brought everything into perspective. Everything
Mm.
before that was about the mission. He was
Yeah,
conflicted. He was
I said that.
conflicted, but it was about the
Yeah.
mission.
Back then, I said that line hit Omni Man harder than the hammer did. You know, that line hit him harder than anything he went up against that day.
Mm. And
Uh,
like the episode where we saw whatever day it was, graduation day, whatever, was almost like the full circle, wasn't it? Like his parents were beating on him, and then when the dad was lucky enough and the mum was disappointed and said, "Never see me again," he looked sad. So he was probably thinking back to that. The mum abandoned him, and he's beating on his son, and his son's like, "I have you in it." So, like I told you, Nolan's the one holding this show together.
we'll see. All right.
Invincible's cool and
There you go.
everything, and everybody else is doing whatever they're doing, but it's Nolan that's really holding the show together because you either hate him or you love him or you're. Do you see what I mean? He's the emotional plot point.
Mm.
you think then he's gonna make it to the end of the story? Because
I don't.
saying all that, it kind of gets you thinking.
I
I
don't.
don't know.
I think it's a redemption arc, and then he goes. Like in Bad Batch, where Tech was just like nobody, and then they went to all the effort to make you care about him, and then
Yeah. Oh, it still pisses me off, man.
it's one of them ones, or Darth Vader, where it's just like at the end where he's just like turns on the Emperor, and then he doesn't make it. So I think they're building him up for the redemption arc, and then the greatest sacrifice, isn't it?
If Mark does snap and he does lose the plot,
He's not snapping.
yeah, but if he does he then would he then wouldn't make it?
What do you
Who
mean?
wouldn't make it? Omni
Mark,
Man.
no, Mark.
This
Like
is a
die?
hypothetical that just can't happen because it's his show. But for argument's sake, if he snaps, I just think it's the equivalent of like the Hulk or Wolverine. They're just gonna go. He's gonna go berserk, and people are just gonna die because he uses restraint.
Well, who's are we talking about him when he comes back from Earth to Earth, or is it later
I
on?
was just
And
talking
any
about like everything he goes through and stuff. Like if he has a mental break or whatever.
well, who's gonna stop him?
That's the
I don't-
thing. You need a Viltrumite, or we can argue Battle Beast because I think we agree that Battle Beast is on par with Viltrumite. You need somebody above Mark that can stop him.
The only person who I think could stop him if it really came down to it, well, aside from when she's not pregnant, is Adam Eve because of her powers.
Or
They're just
Debbie.
that broken to where, because she can manipulate like atoms and molecules when she's like, fully unleashed. But she's the only person who I can feel could probably do it. The only
No, I think
difference is,
What about Tech
um,
Jacket?
nah.
wha-
Tech Jacket
you
can't hit a barnyard door.
you give Tech Jacket Space Racer's gun, then maybe we can talk. We can talk. But like
She
right
can't
now,
hit them. She was trying to hit the other guy, and I think
Didn't she
Invincible
ki-
passed her.
she killed the variant, didn't she?
she yeah, but they're less a variant though. They're not like as seasoned. You can see a difference. There's a clean difference
She kept
between
missing that
them.
Viltrumite. You can have the power of the space ray gun, but if you miss, it don't matter.
Mm,
Debbie can stop. Debbie can stop a bloodlusted berserker Invincible.
With prep time, could Rudy create a plan that could stop Invincible?
No, I think he would
when that's
have. I think it's the same as Cecil. He would have the um. What's the word I'm looking for?
it means.
Resources?
He would have the like robots or the contraptions or whatever, but I just don't think they take up to the physical battery. Do you understand? Like he just ripped them apart.
So he basically just stole for time, basically.
Well,
Yeah,
what was interesting about the Flaxen invasion is the fact that they had these mech suits that looked like they were giving Mark a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, trouble.
And if
yeah.
Rudy is now in that dimension, we don't know
But
if
it's
he's
gonna be a
able to
different.
learn about that
But it's gonna
tech
be
and
a
all that.
different Mark though.
That's a different mark.
Coming back.
That's what do you mean?
This
It's the
is
same
Mark
Mark.
before he came back to space. From it till he went to space. If
Mm.
when he's getting beat up, like he just got disemboweled, right?
Yeah, he's gonna have more EXP.
He's gonna come back. The amount of like recovery or strength he's gonna get off of that alone is not gonna be whole. It's a Zenkai boost. It's not.
Mm.
It's not gonna be. It's not gonna be the same one that fought the Flaxens then. And even then, the Flaxens only have like that to go off of when they first fought. Would fought him that time.
They're just lucky that Mark didn't go through the portal, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like Omni Man just basically turned himself into a nuclear weapon and just flipping
Oh yeah, that was so good.
leveled the whole thing, didn't he?
That was so good.
And then he made them send him back, or he was going to drop the mountain on them, or
I
something
think he
like that.
flew back. Didn't he fly back?
Nah,
Yeah, but he needed them. He needed them to open the portal.
Yeah, he needed
Oh.
them to open the portal, which they did, and then yeah. All right, then. Is there anything else from this episode that you guys want to talk about?
Yeah, just to reiterate, so many like really good character moments from Debbie, Art, Mark, Oliver. I guess even Nolan as well, just considering like how it was revolving around him and how, you get to really see the repercussions of his actions, or it's the
Yeah.
first time you get to see his reaction to the repercussions of his actions. If that makes sense, and how that changes going forward. And
How did that go on? Sorry,
and more importantly, no more side quests. No more side quests, at least
You
for now.
hope. You hope.
Because we're gonna go from Mark on like nearly dead to Adam and Eve picks out baby clothes while Doc Seismic attacks the store. Like, I don't want to see that. I don't need to see.
Yeah,
You don't give me prime rib
but Mark
and
being on
then
death's
try and
door.
feed me chicken tenders. Like what?
Mark being on death's door. For all we know, we see him in bed for like 5 minutes, and then it goes on to Alan and Tech Jacket.
How did this episode end?
Alan and Tech Jacket.
Yeah, they're
gonna play video games.
Oh yeah.
They should have. The best thing that can come from Invincible is an Omni-Man spinner.
Yeah, like a backstory or like a prequel.
Prequel would be good, and then after the prequel, a backstory of like what he's doing before he gets to Earth, and then he
So
could
like
do
what
like
he's doing in the
But
books,
we already know that through the books that he wrote.
but we
yeah,
haven't
but we
seen the
need,
books in like full detail though.
but it
But
needs
the
to be
books
fleshed
could be
out
a good fleshed out.
into a movie or anime.
Mm.
You know, like I don't know about the modern ones, but you know, like the OG Dragon Ball Z movies where they kind of loosely follow the series, but it's like
Yeah,
just 3 minutes of fighting.
yeah.
That's what we need. Because as much as we like people talking and everything, we want to see fighting, don't we?
Yeah, I want to see the war. Like that's the elephant in the room.
Mm. So yeah,
All
we
right
need
then.
we need more Omni Man with boots.
Hmm. Yeah, he ain't putting on those shoes anytime soon, man.
He needs to, man.
He likes to feel the space rocks between his toes. Like
Yeah,
maybe
but
this
he's
is just
done that now. He's done that now. Put some boots on.
What's he? Oh, I don't know what he's gonna wear. All right then, shall we end it there?
Sure.
Like, comment, and subscribe, and tell a friend.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool.
This is Real Din signing out, and this was Invincible, episode 5. Can't wait for episode 6.
And now he's got a chance to prove it.
Cool, cool, cool. All right, guys. Catch you later. Keep it mint on card. Stay reeled in. Right.